But how's the audio level? I mean, is it spiking? Is it too high, Angel? Angel, is it... What? We're live. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. It's Ned here over at My Philippine Dreams, N to the E to the D over at MPD, coming at you from Dumaguete City, the city of gentle people here on Negros Oriental, the Philippines. Today is February 4th, 2019, the first day of the rest of our lives. Basically what I'm doing here, this is hopefully be a short live stream. It's basically just to announce that I'll be doing another live stream tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning I'll be doing it around 9:30 a.m. local time. If you're on the East Coast of the United States of America, that is 8:30 p.m. on Monday night, I believe, because I'll be doing it on Tuesday night and I am in the future. And it'll basically just be like a Q&A type thing. I'm pulling some questions and some comments from YouTube, from Facebook, from email, from all the stuff that I get. And I'll be trying to address that as accurately as I can. And if I don't have the answer, I'll probably just make it up. Let's see if we're actually live here. Yeah, we are live. Seems to be working. Cool. All right. I got to enable that super chat at some point so I can make some really big bucks here on YouTube. All right, so basically what's going on in the Philippines and what's going on with me. All right, before we get into me, because basically this is all about me. At the end of the day, it's all about me. First up is a trivia question, and if you get the answer to this correct, you'll get a free copy of my ebook, Chasing Your Philippine Dream, An Expat's Guide to the Philippines. Other than UFC, that MMA stuff, I don't really watch sports at all. And I guess there was some big sporting event recently in the United States of America. So the first 3 viewers who emailed me the winner of the American Super Bowl, which I believe was today or something, and you send the correct answer to myphilippinedreams@gmail.com, you'll get a free copy of my ebook, the aforementioned Chasing Your Philippine Dream, An Expat's Guide to the Philippines, which chronicles much of my misadventures over the last 5+ here in the Philippines. Oh, by the way, go Pats. All right, let me make sure everything's working, right? People can hear me. All right, because nobody said I can't hear you, Ned. The chat section is open. Please try to keep it civil. Let's try to maintain some decorum in our discourse here. If you say anything crazy, you're probably just going to get banned. So try to be nice. Okay, let's get into it. This is basically what's going on in the Philippines. First up, it's cold. This is the coldest. I've been here over 5 years now in the Philippines, and this is the coldest I've ever seen it. A couple of days this past week, it was only at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, which is usually it's pretty warm here in Dumaguete. It was only 79 degrees. That's in Fahrenheit because I'm American and we're not smart enough to know what Celsius is. So to all my extra American viewers, I apologize for not knowing what that is in Celsius. Bottom line is it's been cold. It's been actually cold to the point where I'm driving around in a t-shirt and I'm like, wow, I wish I'd brought my jacket or my long sleeve t-shirt or my thermal or my hat. Also, I've had a lot of low pressure areas stacked up, which has resulted in a lot of clouds, a lot of rain. There was like 10 days where basically it rained all the time and it was pretty miserable, and I was actually getting like cabin fever. That wasn't too great. Now, I don't know if this has anything to do with this polar vortex which recently hit the northern hemisphere, and I guess that's going to be an ongoing event every year now, the scientists are saying, these climate scientists are saying. But it was cold. That's all I know. I'm not complaining because I know come around March when it starts heating up, when summer starts rolling in, April and May, I'm going to be complaining about it being too hot. I'm going to be miserable. And maybe this cold has something to do with my bronchitis. At least once or twice a year in the Philippines, I get a nasty case of bronchitis. And what usually happens is I'll get a cold, I'll get some, viral infection, and right afterwards I'll get bronchitis. And usually I go to the doctor. I go to my doctor, Dr. Yi. He's the best doctor in Dumaguete. And he'll give me clindamycin for 10 days and it goes away. We just did that recently and this hasn't gone away. He wanted to give me 5 more days before he starts me on some other antibiotic. So yeah, that's one thing about living in the Philippines. It also might have something to do with the diesel fumes, the exhaust, the burning trash and all that stuff. And maybe have something to do with smoking cigarettes. So maybe after I quit smoking cigarettes in April, which I'm going to do because I do that every year, and this year I'm going to stay quit, I'll get one of those little masks that everyone's wearing now here in Dumaguete. Also, I got some bad news to report. I was recently stripped of my Bogart's Dive Bar Undisputed Arm Wrestling Championship. This happened this past Friday night, where I basically lost to everybody that was there, including a young woman who was about half my weight. But the caveat there is she was possessed of Scandinavian blood, so maybe she's got some Valkyrie or something in her. That's the only reason I can think that she beat me twice. So, yeah. So my reign as undisputed Bogart's Dive Bar Arm Wrestling Champion has come to an end. It's not good. Patriots 13-3. Oh, go Pats. I heard it was a super exciting game, too, from people's Facebook posts. There was also, unfortunately, another tragic incident, and this is a real tragic incident. There was a bombing down in a church in Mindanao recently. Abu Sayyaf, those people are believed to have been involved in this. And also, I don't know if this had a direct impact on it, but there was a global study of safety that was recently conducted and named the Philippines as the most dangerous country in the world, even ranking below war-torn Yemen. The Safety Index score published by Global Finance magazine considers war and peace, crime rates, and the risk of natural disasters in reaching its conclusion. Now, I think it scored so poorly with this particular study because, again, of the incident rates of natural disasters that the Philippines is vulnerable to. We are in the ring of fire here. We have volcanoes, we have typhoons, we have earthquakes, we got all kinds of crazy stuff that can kick off. And when it hits coastal communities and stuff, it can be rather devastating. Next up, let's talk about crime. A foreigner was recently nabbed, and that's what they call it here. He got nabbed in Davao, and being involved in a pyramid scam. Basically, he was borrowing money and lending money out. He got caught up in this, and he has been nabbed. He has been apprehended. Keep in mind, in the Philippines, one of the worst crimes you can commit here is a violation of what they call estafa laws. That's when you promise to pay something back and you don't do it. That's a big crime here in the Philippines, ranking up there with murder, manslaughter, and all that. It's not quite as bad as rooster napping, or sometimes as they call it here, cock napping. If you get caught stealing roosters, you can really go away for a very long time, 40, 50 years. So yeah, foreigners getting caught up in pyramid schemes in the Philippines, who'd have thunk it? Also, let me reiterate one more time. For those of you who haven't been to the Philippines, you're not going to have major problems with Filipinos, because for the most part, they're nice, they're very approachable, they're just, decent, cool people. The biggest problem you're going to have is with fellow foreigners. Next up, inflation. Inflation has reared its ugly head in the Philippines. Last 6 months has been particularly gross. At one point, it hit 9%. 9% inflation is pretty brutal. It's hitting Filipino families rather hard. The exchange rate for foreigners, Americans in particular, is still really good because of the strong dollar versus the weakening peso. Gasoline and diesel. When I first got here, I think diesel was 25 pesos per liter. Now it's close, and back in November, it was up to 49 pesos a liter. That's basically doubled. So diesel and gasoline have gone up. Cigarettes have gone from 55 pesos for Fortune Pulang, which is my brand, to 75 pesos per pack. So that's a 20 peso increase, almost 50 cents. Also, Neva's spicy seafood salad has gone from 220 pesos to 270 pesos. So that's been affecting me. As of the 4th week of September, back in 2018, not too long ago, the price of rice went from 55 pesos per kilo to 66 pesos per kilo. And last year, a kilo of rice cost about 42 pesos. So inflation is rearing its ugly head here in the Philippines, affecting Filipinos more than foreigners, again, because we're benefiting from the exchange rate, which is still pretty dang good. Let's go to the questions. Let's go to the comments. Yes, Scuba Knight notes that the crazy temperatures, it's cold, it feels like Baguio everywhere. I couldn't believe at 3 p.m. in the afternoon it was 79 degrees. Bobby Gonzalez, how you doing? It's because of the natural disasters. Excuse the numbers. Yemen doesn't have many natural disasters. Exactly, Scott. And a lot of people have been talking about this study that was done. And again, a lot of it had to do with the natural disasters. Bobby Todd says, I will be south of Dumaguete in 2 weeks, staying at Cuckoo's Nest after watching one of your vlogs from there. Cuckoo's Nest is very nice. Hopefully by then it's warmed up, so it's not freezing cold down there on the water. Cess in the City, Polar Vortex was brutal. Cess in the City, how are you? I used to watch a lot of your vlogs, back when I had time to watch vlogs. So that's basically it. I just wanted to basically announce Patriots won. I just wanted to announce that I'll be doing this live stream in the morning, 9:30, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I got 96 people watching right now here. So hopefully we can have a good time with it tomorrow. There's actually some amusing comments and questions that were left behind there. Also, don't forget, if you got a Kindle or an e-reader, go down to the video description box. One of the best books on the Philippines that I've ever read is called The Great White Tribe in Philippinia. The link is down in the video description box. It is a free book. Yes, it was written back in 1905, but a lot of things, as they say, really haven't changed all that much here, especially with cultural stuff and interactions and physical layouts and stuff. It's really interesting to read. The guy was an excellent writer. Of course, he's passed away. And he was actually one of the guys that came here as a missionary. He was a Thomasite. He came on the USS Thomas, which was the first steamship from the United States that brought over engineers, teachers, all that stuff to help set up infrastructure, establish schools, and all that. But he was actually British. He was a British gentleman, and he went on to become a famous British child's author. I'm just rambling on at this point, so I'm going to stop talking because I'm not making much sense. Darren Keniadiaka says, smoking again, don't you quit smoking like twice a year? I only quit smoking once a year when I go back to the United States. And then like after a month or two, I start smoking again. But this year I have to quit and stay quit because at my age, I'm really starting to feel it. It's making the bronchitis worse. It's just not good. And I have other plans. I have plans for like the next 25 years of my life. And in order to realize those plans and those dreams, I have to be alive and not smoking and dying. Mick says, switch to vaping, save me. That's what I do. Quitting smoking is actually really easy. I use the patch and vaping, and the vape has got no milligrams of nicotine, and that works really well for me. All right, so if you're going to be around tomorrow, around 9:30 my time, tune in for the live stream. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. Thank you for keeping it safe and a safe space for all of us, for all concerned. And this is Ned over at My Philippine Dreams, and I will see you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning, 9:30. I'll be up. Take care. Take care, everybody. Peace. Was that good, Angel? We're still live? Okay.